What's going on, family? I'm Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. What I'm showing you here is one of 500 books that I have of newspaper articles the following day of the fight that took place the night before. Here you have Bojack stops Ali Schultz. He stopped him in 7 rounds. Now what this did was it placed Bojack ranked number 1 to face Tippy Larkin in New York's Madison Square Garden. Now Tippy Larkin was from New Jersey. And he would knock out Tippy Larkin in 3 rounds, and he would become the New York Sack lightweight champion of the world. And if you know Bojack's story, that was quite an accomplishment. He was from Augusta, Georgia. And as you can see here, November 13th, 1942. Ali Schultz was a very, very good fighter. And what this does is it just breaks down what took place in the fight. As you can see here, left eye of Ali Schultz. And he was recommended by the physician not to continue. Dr. Walker decides Schultz was badly cut on his eyelid, on his eye. And it would have been foolish to take the gamble. You see, because Bojack was defeating Ali Schultz. And he couldn't win on points. So the doctor felt it was wise for Ali Schultz to throw in the towel. Now, Bo, who had 11 wins in a row before facing Ali Schultz, was a sure shot winner, actually. And he would get the opportunity to face Tippy Larkin, who, by the way, Bojack would have 21 main event fights at Madison Square Garden. Tippy Larkin had 19. Here you have Henry Armstrong, who knocks out Lou Jenkins. And Lou Jenkins would become the lightweight champion of the world, and he would defeat Lou Ambers. He would knock out Lou Ambers in 3 rounds. And Bojack would now knock out Lou Jenkins. December 4th, 1942. What I want to do is just go through. I'm not going to go verbatim, but just give you an idea. I'll do this in another video, perhaps. I'll make a series out of this just to show you some articles, and we'll discuss what took place in the fights. Here you have Willie Pep. He beats Chalky Wright to capture the featherweight championship of the world. This article, November 20th, 1942, was the night after the fight. Youthful Hartford battler won his 54th consecutive bout, and he would win the featherweight title, and he would win it from Chalky Wright. Ray Robinson, easy victor. New York, November 7th. Having come out of the second invasion in the middleweight division. Now here you have a fighter by the name of Freddie Archer. Fred Archer, winner over Gene Johnson. Newark Freddie Archer, 146¼ pounds, of Newark, New Jersey, who enlisted in the Navy last week, gained a 10-round decision over Gene Johnson. It shows you all the preliminaries. Here you have Bobby Ruffin. If you never heard of Bobby Ruffin, very good fighter. He had a good fight with Bojack. Ex-Beller, Trance Ruffin. Roman Alvarez, a former Diamond Belter, upsets Bobby Ruffin. Bobby Ruffin had defeated Ray Robinson in the amateurs, or when he was Walker Smith at the time. The other fighter who would defeat Walker Smith would be Billy Graham. Let me show you the next page here. Now here you have Bojack. He stops Schultz. And Angot gives up the title. And this is what would allow Bojack and Tippy Larkin to fight for the lightweight championship crown, because Angot had gave up the title. Ali Schultz, $10,000. And what I love about these articles is it gives you direct information. Like I said, I can show you, books upon books of this. So usually when I do my videos, this is kind of like where I get the information from. And each book is 1,000 pages. And I have 500 of these kinds of books. Articles from all over the world. Every fight that you can think of. Preliminaries, main events. Joe Louis, Ike Williams, Ray Robinson, Rocky Marciano. Most of them have their own books. Let's move to another page. And here you have Jimmy Bivens. He beats Lou Savoy, New York's Madison Square Garden. Jimmy Bivens of Cleveland. A sensational battler. Excuse the blur. Defeats Lou Savoy. Patterson heavyweight. Fight took place in New York's Madison Square Garden. Bivens weighed 175.5 pounds. Savoy weighed 195. Incredible. Because, see, Bivens couldn't get fights. He began his professional debut with Eddie Charles and Ike Williams, Ray Robinson, Willie Pep. Lou's ribs fractured in blazing battler. Lou Nova. I'll tell you, that Lou Nova and Max Baer fight was something else. That fight took place in 1940. Ray Robinson stops rival in 8th round. Harlem Boxer eliminates Izzy Genazzo as a contender. December 1st, 1942. Incredible. December 2nd, Ray Robinson isn't listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Here you have Bojack stops Ali Stoltz in Madison Square Garden. We went through that. Tammy Mariello outpoints Lee Savoy. These are millions and millions of articles that I have here. Let me go to another page for you. Now, these are all the fights that took place between 1942 and 1943. Now here you have Ray Robinson. He wins. He defeats Jake LaMotta, easy style. As you can see here, 1942. October 2nd of that year, Ray Robinson made his bow against middleweight competition tonight by taking target practice of Jake LaMotta. Ray had weighed 145 pounds and LaMotta weighed 157 3/4 pounds. I'm struggling to get through these glares, so please excuse me. I'm just trying to show you some articles here. Maxie Shapiro whips Bob Montgomery in stunning upset. 1942. And this goes on and on and on, fight after fight after fight. Here you have Hank Too Good for Zivic. Now, Henry Armstrong had defeated Fizzy Zivic, but he lost to him twice, in 40 and 41. But then he would defeat Fizzy Zivic. Here you have Izzy Genazzo. Fights Ray Robinson. Ray's right will be X-rated. Ray Sugar Robinson won his 37th straight bout at the arena last night. But tonight's cheers. He fought Izzy Genazzo and fractured his right hand. Chalky Wright is KO'd, winner over Vasquez in the 8th round. Bob Montgomery evens score with Maxie Shapiro. So, if you go through all these little articles, they all tell you about fights that took place. Here you have Tippy Larkin was making his second appearance following an accident. Let's go to the next page here. In fact, let's stay on this page. You have Henry Armstrong wins by knockout. He beats Juan Zarita in 2 rounds. Incredible. You got Bob Montgomery wins in 7 rounds over Chester Rico. It gives you that whole write-up over the fight. One day, once again, I'll slowly go through it with you. Izzy Janazo, Trances Gomez. Gomez was a very, very good fighter himself. Very good fighter. Look up. And then here you have Jake LaMotta beats Jackie Wilson, New York's Madison Square Garden, January 15th, 1943. And these are when the articles of 43 would begin. The crowd, about 9,000. LaMotta gained the verdict. Ruffin has Green, Foe in Green. Here you have a guy by the name of Howard Green. Howard Green had faced Rocky Graziano 3 times. They used to fight in the street all the time. My dad knew Howard Green as well. Good fighter. He's training Stillman's gym. Police called after Zivic lost the fight in Pittsburgh with Jake LaMotta because most people thought that Fritzy Zivic had won the fight and the place was in an uproar. Here you have Richard Lamons. Wins, but verdict proves unpopular. Let me show you one more page and I'll call it a day. All right, so here we have Robinson down, but beats Jake LaMotta. That's a 1942 bout. But I'll also show you when Robinson lost for the first time against Jake LaMotta, 1943. And then 3 weeks later, he would defeat Jake LaMotta. But in between that match, he would face Jackie Wilson of California. Here you have Maxie Berger. Maxie Berger was a very, very good fighter as well. He weighed 145.5 pounds. He was from the Bronx, New York. In fact, he lived 4 blocks away from the Bronx Spider, Mike Belois. Manuel Ortiz scores knockout over Cardoza. Bantamweight champion displays fine form to win by knockout in the 6th round. Phil Terranova says he'll be fighting champion. It was the NBA featherweight championship belt.